Alright, team, so we're back with another update to the Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster. I believe it is supposed to be remaster. We kind of talk about it maybe being like a remake, remaster. I guess it could be like a Crisis Core reunion situation. I guess we don't technically know what it's going to be until it's ever officially revealed. So in the previous video, we had heard that the team behind the original Final Fantasy Tactics was busy working on another project. We learned this from some of the devs on Theatrhythm Final Bar Line. And the assumption there is that they were working on the remaster, right? But we did talk about in the previous video as well that maybe they could be working on a different project or like an ongoing project. I even mentioned them potentially working on Final Fantasy 16, and that might be the case. There's actually a comment on the previous video that somebody mentioned that the team behind Tactics are part of Business Unit 3 and that they're working on Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 16. I'm assuming that's true. I don't really know how to research where the dev team from Tactics is these days. Which is perfectly fine, right? We don't have to have the original team to do a remaster, right? It'd be beneficial probably since they're there building the game from the ground up. But at the end of the day, like the team, whoever's doing that would just be trying to make the game prettier. You don't necessarily need the original devs for that, I guess, if that makes any sense. But also, if the original Tactics team isn't working on a Tactics remaster, it also doesn't discredit a Tactics remaster, right? Because again, it doesn't have to be them. It can be literally anybody. It could be Team Asana, which I think is a good shout. We talked about them a few times. Anyways, on to the information for today, where we have kind of, I guess, confirmation, if you want to call it that, from a reputable source, Jason Schreier, pretty much confirming that the Tactics Remaster is, in fact, happening. So a few days ago, he dropped a tweet, sort of like a mini review, if you want to call it that, of Octopath Traveler 2, kind of comparing it to the first game. And somebody replies, simply asking, where is the Final Fantasy Tactics Remaster? And he simply replies, coming. Here's what I'll say, though. When it comes to Jason Schreier, I do think he's a pretty reputable place for information, right? He has good insider knowledge. People do leak credible information to him. He's not always 100% right with, like, predictions, if you want to call it that. Because I remember some years ago, he predicted something for, like, a PS5 event. It was, like, a few months after. I don't think it's, like, 2 months after Remake came out. He thought that, like, a PS5 event was going to show off, like, a Remake for the PS5, which obviously that did happen, but it was, like, a year later. He thought they were going to show Remake Part 2 and thought they were going to show like Final Fantasy 16 all at one event. I remember actually doing a video on it back then because it was just such an astronomically bold claim because it was like, why would they reveal Remake for the PS5 and also Remake Part 2 literally like 2 months after Remake came out? It's insane. The only thing that made any sense was maybe like a 16 reveal, which did happen later that year, of course. But I think when it comes to any sort of like insider information, insider knowledge, the guy's been fairly accurate, at least for everything that we've ever kind of talked about or discussed on this channel. I can't vouch for the guy for every damn thing that he says, obviously. But also, even when it comes to somebody that has like insider information, they're not necessarily at fault for things changing, right? Things getting canceled, moved around, changed entirely, whatever, right? So like, they're just giving you the information. It's not really them being wrong, so to speak, if that makes any sense. And the thing is, when it comes to like video games and stuff, we have plenty of like great leakers out there that are really, really accurate. But I do think it's kind of nice when it comes to this because we're all like fairly fucking certain that the Tactics Remaster is a real thing. It's just a matter of like kind of when that might happen. And having somebody that's a little more in the limelight and kind of a public figure like Jason Schreier kind of confirming that that's the case, I think is good. And we still have the upcoming like State of Play and at a later point, kind of around summer, that PlayStation Showcase. So maybe at one of these events, they finally reveal this stuff. And then, as we talked about every time we talk about this or the 9 Remake, like those are the only two that haven't been revealed from the NVIDIA GeForce Now leak in terms of Square Enix, right? It's just these two left. Tactics Remaster, 9 Remake. And if this game gets revealed, like they reveal finally a Tactics Remake, Remaster, whatever, that almost just has to confirm that 9 Remake's real. It's like, it's just a matter of when that's going to be revealed as well. That's going to be more or less a video, my dudes. It doesn't need to be super long-winded, right? But I had to add a little bit of length to the video, have a little bit of a discussion. We can't just come on here and be like, Jason Schreier said the Tactics Remaster is coming in the video in like 10 seconds. Like, we've got to add a little bit of time to it. So I guess the question that I can pass off to you guys, it seems like all but a certainty right now, right? The Tactics Remaster is coming, and then that would all, in a roundabout way, confirm the 9 Remake. When do you think they're going to reveal Tactics Remaster? Are we seeing it this year? Is it going to be as soon as like that potential State of Play, or maybe that down the road PlayStation Showcase? Or are we seeing it all this year? Or is it going to be like a next year type thing? What do you think? That's the video, my dudes. Subscribe to if you guys are new. Social networks in the description below. Follow me on Twitter, David YT. That's it. Bye.
Used to care what people thought, but now I care more. And nobody out here's got it figured out. So therefore, I've lost all hope of a happy ending, depending on whether or not it's worth it. So insecure, no one's perfect. We spend it with no shame. We blow that like Coltrane. We in here like Logain or leave it like Cobain.